27th February 1943, ferry Swordfish number K3444 of 769 Naval Air Squadron departed HMS Condor near Arbroath. On board were Sub-Lieutenants Arnold Waterhouse and Brian Honeybun on a training mission dealing with instrument flight. At approximately 11:30 a.m., a young woman living at Blackboth Farm near Letham sighted the aircraft flying at 300 or 400 feet, apparently suffering mechanical difficulty. The Swordfish continued overhead towards Letham but crashed at neighboring Gask Farm, near where we stand today. Both young aviators, only 21 years old, were killed in the crash. In memoriam of their sacrifice, a wooden memorial was erected and was regularly visited until, as wooden objects are wont to do, it succumbed to the rigors of weather and perished. Today, this memorial is reinstituted near the spot where young Arnold Waterhouse and Brian Honeybun so nobly gave their utmost in service to God, King, and country. We who are gathered here today stand in witness to their sacrifice, and we pledge ourselves to the task of remembering not just these two young warriors, but all such people who gave their lives that others might be free. We hear this in the Gospel of John. Greater love hath no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. We have today the nephews of Arnold Waterhouse. Andrew would like to say a few words.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to say a few words today on behalf of my family for several reasons. Firstly, to thank you all for attending today and supporting Keith and I and our wives Julie and Jeanette at the formal commissioning of this memorial to my late Uncle Arnold and his colleague Brian Honeybun. As you probably know by the accent, we've travelled a long distance from home to be here today, as they did in 1943. And your support is a great source of comfort and encouragement to us. So thank you. I'd like to mention a few individuals who deserve special recognition for making today possible. I'd like to thank Patrick Anderson for his keen interest in Arnold and Brian's story and for his helpful research. But I most especially would like to thank, and Keith and I would both like to thank, the Lumgare family for their help and hospitality throughout the year in making today possible, and to Dave and to Jeanette for managing to locate the original plaque that now sits proudly on this new memorial when it's unveiled to be able to see it. Can I also thank them for their ongoing commitment in allowing us to maintain and preserve this permanent memorial to my late uncle and his colleague. Since family is at the heart of today's occasion, can I also send our thoughts and good wishes to Dave Lumgare's son David, whom we hope makes a successful recovery from his recent major surgery. Thank you also to the British Legion of Scotland for their support and exceptionally respectful attendance today. And finally, very grateful thanks to the Reverend Dale Landon for conducting today's service. When Arnold Waterhouse and Brian Honeybun left HMS Condor on that cold but sunny February morning, flying over this glorious countryside, they had their whole lives ahead of them. And as enthusiastic 21-year-olds, it would never have entered their minds that this was to be their last flight and would have ended so tragically. But that was a sad consequence of serving for a country at war, where lives were lost in the blink of an eye. And this was never more evident to me than when I researched the Royal Naval records for the day and discovered that a further 123 naval servicemen perished on that same day. Let us all hope that their sacrifices mean that we and in ensuing generations in this country never have to experience war on that scale again. And that is the reason why memorials such as this one need to be preserved to remind us of that fact. The death of a son or brother must be hard to appreciate unless it has happened to you, and the loss of Arnold would have been momentous to my grandparents and father, as it would have been to Brian Honeybun's family. My father, who was Arnold's brother, passed away in 2014 at the age of 90 and was only 18 at the time, but shared with me in his final year that he never ever recovered from the loss of his brother, even after 70 years. that's why it's so important to Keith and I that Arnold's memory is preserved, as a reminder of the courage and high esteem that he was held in by our grandparents and father, and why we're so grateful to be here today to honour two young men who served and died for their country. As I say, let us hope that the lessons learned from their sacrifices and all those who died in World War II will live with us and future generations forever and ever. They have our never-ending respect, because as the epitaph on the stone simply says, theirs was duty nobly done.